going on, everyone? Welcome to Thursday night's Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. We are back live. Been a few weeks. Sorry for some of the breaks. A lot of stuff going on. End of summer and all. Moving Kaylee to school. And then last week, where did I go last week? Oh, I had to go drop off a bike tank, and that was the Eagle with the wings, and so that turned into about a 4.5, 5 hour traffic, and just couldn't get back in time to get everything set up for the feed. So let's double check. I think we got some sound here. I might think the sound might be peaking a little bit. Let me put that down. Let's see. Oh, do I now? I should have sound. Oh, now I have double sound. All right, let's go back. I had the camera sound on, but not the mic sound. So now we should be a little better, but I think I'm too high. Let's go back down. Double checking everything. All right, how's that sound? That should be a little bit better. Let's see who we got in the house here. We got Paul Kennedy, we got Raya Shea, we got Robert, London Penn, what's happening? We are recording. We are alive. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right, good. We got good. I think we got good sound. Good picture. I'm going to move this one just a little bit so I can see it better. I think that's good. Everyone, what's happening? Mike Manning, what's going on? All right, so let's talk about what we got going on tonight. Sound check good. Gary, thank you very much. Let me show you what I got going on here. We got this little guy. What we're doing. Oh, you need to. There we go. That's a little better. Now I'm off to the side. That's easier to see. Oh, that's much better. I should definitely keep that in mind in the future. All right, so this is what I came up with this morning. I didn't come up with the whole design this morning. I've used this Eagle in the past in a couple different variants on a bike years ago is what I really designed it for. Originally, it was a Eagle with smoke and everything around it, and that's why I didn't really have the lower body, because it was more about the claw and the face, and then it was all full of smoke. This is a great design for smoke, fire, great in a gas tank, great in the side of a car, truck, something like that. It's really good for that because you can manipulate it. And the way I did it is that the front claw that's in front of you, that I have grouped separate. So if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can move that one and kind of pivot it into position. And then just any intersecting lines you clean up in vector. I should do a quick little video on how to do that. But that's what's cool about it, because you can kind of reposition it around. That's why I did it. And so I've had this on the slate for a couple of months. I've had it in the, maybe we'll do this pile, and didn't have it ready to go for download. But it came up this morning. I was going to use it weeks ago, and then I know September 11th is coming up, and we had Labor Day, and I wanted to do something patriotic, and I just did an Eagle, and I'm actually doing a hawk tomorrow. So it's kind of on my mind. So what I did is I took the image, cleaned it up, and then I added the flag background. And what I did in the download, so this is available for download. I pinned the link to the download at the top of the page. Remember, all Down and Dirty Tricksters, all you members get 20% off, 25% off the downloads. You should use the code from the membership. And what I did is I broke it down to 4 file sets. One, just the Eagle by itself with the silhouette cut out. One like this, the Eagle and the flag pre-set up. Another one of just the flag on the whole screen, so you can use that, lots of different stuff by itself. And then I did a set that has different variants, and it has an Eagle block out, a flag block out. It's kind of just in one file set. So that's all available for download right now, and it's ready to go. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. I'll refresh my screen so I can see if anyone's chatting or talking there. Cool. All right, so everything looks good. Like I said, I think the sound is good. We got all our down and dirty tricks as well. I'm talking about that. The members, this is all you guys here. Thank you so much for all your support, month to month to month. Get a lot more green skulls. Green skulls are 2 years. So, yeah, you're in your second year. So you got Mike Stanton. I think this, in the past month, Gary Shee, Scott Voss, Scotty Boy, London Penn, you all came on and got the green skull badge. And all you gold skulls are over a year. So I want to thank you all for sticking with me and helping this channel grow. We are growing more members. The list is getting bigger. I think I'm going to... I think we're 68 to 70 we usually float around. Want to get to 100. 100 members would be nice. And then I'll have 4 rows of people. But I always want to try to thank you guys for that and include you. Remember, you get that 25% off. So thank you very much for that. All right, let's get into the project. Get it off screen here. There we go. All right, so I got that. Let me switch up to the camera. All right, this is what we got going on. Okay, let's start with what we got for a panel here, because I always get asked. This is a 12 by 18 polymetal panel, which is the PVC core with the aluminum on both sides. This was a white panel to start with. I've scotched it with a I've scuffed it down with a red Scotch-Brite pad and gave it a good clean, and then did a 1/2-inch border, which means the painting itself is 11 by 17. Okay, and what I've done is I already plotted it on blue mask. I've picked out the dark part of the star field. I got that ready just so you didn't have to watch it on camera. I got a back tape so we can set it up. I've done this a million times. I don't think I need to do it every feed, but if you watch for the first time, I'll show you how I apply this and get it on with the hinge technique. But there's other videos of how to pick and weed and transfer vinyl and put transfer tape. But if you need it, reach out and I'll send you some links. All right, but yeah, so that's the image. So what I'm going to do tonight, this can be done a few different ways. You could do it in color. You could do it in black and white. I'm going to do this all in sepia tones and kind of make it look like the old painting. I was going to do sepia tones and like maybe a little blue tinge and a little red tinge. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. I could add a little red or blue. I'm not sure how the blue would react. It might look kind of weird over the sepia. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. If you guys really want it, I'll give it a shot. But I'm thinking black and gray, a sepia tone. It'll just look really nice and kind of cool. Yeah, that's what I think is going to be the best bet. So the colors I have mixed up here. Let me get the paint list up. All right, these I actually mixed up probably a year ago. So I'm hoping these work because I've been so tight I didn't have time to come up with a color. And if it doesn't, we're just going to make them on the fly. These are my 2 favorite colors I've mixed up using a few of the colors by Createx. So we got I use Black Candy, Grabber Orange, and Dirt Dark Brown. All by themselves are great colors. For sepia, I don't like the brown or the orange by themselves. Obviously, it's too orange, and I don't think the brown's like brown enough. So what I've done, I came with these 2 colors a while ago, and I've done a few videos on it. I've made Espresso Shot and Dirty Penny. Okay, Dirty Penny is a nice burnt orange color. And that is 3 parts Grabber Orange to 1 part Dirt Track Brown. And then you mix those 1-to-1 with the UVLS Clear. Reduce if needed. So that's all up on screen there. The Espresso Shot is 3 parts Grabber Orange, 2 parts Dirt Track Brown, 1 part Black Candy. Okay? And that gives you a really nice dark brown. It looks like espresso. So that's kind of what I did. These are my go-to. I love these colors. I've mixed them up for years. And we were going to make a set for these that you could just download. I mean, not download, that you could just buy pre-mixed, but it just never really happened. And it's easy enough. So we did a video on the Createx YouTube channel and stuff like that. So they're pretty easy. I'll try to find that link and put that in the description. So I think it'll look cool. It'll look like an old painting. In the past, what I could have done is I could have like did a background. Oh, I could do that. Quick vote. Should I do like like make this look like old parchment paper kind of stain. I've done it before. I could kind of get it all gnarly and messed up before I apply the mask, if you guys are interested in seeing that. And that way everything gets kind of a gritty, dirty, brownish kind of texture, underpainting, and then everything goes on top of it. So that could be a cool way to handle it. Thanks, Don. Let's see, I'll give it a few minutes, see what you guys think. But before that, I will get my... I'm going to see if this is working. Like I said, I mixed this up for painting quite a while ago. I'm going to use a strainer. This is the bot strainer opposed to my normal one. So let me go to a top down here. And we'll get this off screen. So these are nice. You know, I have my strainers I make, which are great. Super cheap and easy. And these basically use a tobacco screen filter, which is good. Does a really good job. These ones, which I think are overpriced, but I mean, not crazily. These have a much finer screen. Oh, you lost a few as a question. Oh, so the question was, do I, instead of starting pure white and making it with grit and texture, do I put a little grit and texture, like parchment look, to this first, and then apply the mask? Which I think is the way I'm going to go, but that was the question. All right, so what's nice about these are, and I'll see if I can find a link for them. These are a lot finer. Yeah, as soon as I open it, I get paint on my fingers. Already making a mess. All right, so like I said, this paint has been mixed for probably 6 months. And I'm just going to put it on my bottle here and strain it. And that way, if by chance there was any kind of goop in there or dried particles, which I don't really see any, but there might be a little bit, that won't get in to your paint. Yeah, oh yeah, see, it's, if you look really close, you can see some particulates in there. See that? Remember, this is candy that's been mixed for probably 6 months to a year. Okay? But it's never been reduced. So it's expected there might be a little dry particulate in there after that. So that's why it's always good to do that. Let's see if it sprays well. Yeah, so this is really dark. Okay? It's got a little brown to it, but it's really on the darker side. Okay, that's why it's called the espresso shot. And if I want to orange it up a little bit more, parchment, yep, good. That's what I'm going to do. If I want to, orange it up a little more, I can take some of the dirty penny. Whoops. Almost squirted it everywhere. Yeah, just add that in there. And let's see what we get there. Cool. All right, let's see where we're at now. So now it's a little bit browner. There we go. I like that. I think what's happened with this, because it's been so long, that I think some of it settled down. So we lost some of the orange in the mix. All right. Let's get like a parchment-y kind of color. I can use the candy, but I think I'm just going to use... Let's just do this here. Let's take a little Wicked Brown. We're going to take a little Wicked Brown. Make sure everyone's seeing everything. And some white. I'm not going to go too nuts on this. We're just going to do a little bit of this. Ooh, that brown. It was a little... No, that was weird. I think I already had something in there. I'll take a little bit of brown, a little bit of white. Make sure you guys seeing everything all right. I can't tell if the feed froze. Oh, yeah, it's working. Okay. My iPad that I'm trying to look at the feed is frozen. All right. We're going to put a little white in there, and I think I'll put a little yellow, like golden yellow in here. So I didn't plan this. So I'm just going to mix up some color. Yeah, just mustardy, kind of off color. Add a little 4021. Yeah, we get our chair up here. So let's do this. Let's do... Oh, I wish I had some paper up here, because I could, like, cling wrap. Because I could do, like, the old marbleizing trick, which would look kind of cool. I think what we're going to end up doing, we'll just do some water and some isopropyl. Yeah. So I'm just going to take an Eclipse. Yep, if you become a member, you get 25% off the digital download of this project, which is linked right in the top. I pinned that. All right, let's put a little color in here. And we can just spritz a little water first. And I'm just gonna... Oh, see, I should have strained this. This bottle has been sitting a while. That's not gonna matter. It's made kind of a gross... But we're gonna work with it, because it's not gonna matter. And we'll just do this. Look at that, okay? Just making it happen on the fly. Maybe we'll take a little isopropyl. See what that does to it. Just kind of stain it. Which is cool, because if I do some erasing techniques here, it's going to really go a long way. So if you remember the Declaration of Independence I did, this is the full-size readable on a tonneau cover or a truck. This is what I basically did for that whole. It was a crew cab 8-foot bed dually 3500 with a tonneau cover, and basically it's what I did. I kept kind of going back and forth and seeing what I liked. And just kind of let it happen. See how it's just kind of doing stuff, and if I move it, if I rotate it up, it's going to do kind of, yeah, that's going to look cool. I'm going to try to just blow air and see if I can get that to dry as it is. So when you do stuff like this, you just got to be willing to let stuff happen and don't overthink it too much, because it's going to kind of do what it wants to do. Yeah. And then you really got to make sure the moisture is dried out before you put mask to it. My only fear about what I just did was might have to let it dry a little bit. And just let, like I said, just let things happen the way they happen. You could do some multiple colors. You could do the, you could take some like saran wrap and mess with that. And the biggest thing, once you get to a point, you don't, with solvent you could wipe and that's fine. With water-based, if I wipe, I'm gonna like smear everything. So with water-based, you gotta do more of a pat style. Because if you wipe, you'll actually like smear it around. And if you want that, you can. Like I could, like I'm kind of doing it lightly now to check it. And plus, if it takes any overspray off, that'll be good. What do you think of that? Exactly. What could go wrong, man? You never know. But sometimes that's the best shit that happens. You know? It just kind of looks cool. I'm going to give that airbrush a dump. And just a quick flush, clean out in case I need it again. Yep, improv is the best. We do that somewhat often here. Because you never know what's going to freaking happen on a feed. And that's why last week when I got home late, I'm like, and I literally didn't really have any idea. Because I didn't have any time to prep anything the day before. I knew it just wasn't gonna happen. And I was driving, I was so stressed and tweaked. I got home, I was just like, ugh. And I just, I'm like, no, I gotta fix it. Yeah, I just couldn't get it together. Just couldn't get it together. And Thursday night was I was tied up, and then Friday just, yeah, end of summer and all. So sorry for the couple weeks off, but honestly, I think I needed it. It's been a lot happening, and moving Kaylee to school was a chore. Oh. That was a chore. Rock 25 is going on. So Kaylee moved into the new dorm. She got a solo room this year, which is great. But it was on the 4th floor. No elevator. We got an old dorm building. Which was fun to bring all her stuff up 4 flights of stairs. I was thrilled. Okay, now I'm going to make sure we're good. Now I'm going to tack it off. And here's a thing I do. And I actually do this on factory Harleys. But I do it with like gaffer's tape or Gorilla tape or duct tape. And basically it's like a test. And I do this as a rule with customers because I've had bikes. I've had freshly painted bikes from Harley or brand new bikes that have been painted before. Put masking tape on there and pull the clear off. I've had it happen. It's horrible. So if I'm going to use factory base coats, I always do basically a scratch and pull test and inform the customer that if the paint pulls off, you're going to be buying a full paint job. So I always, before I mask, I double check. And I do this with solvent too. It's not a water-based thing because I've had factory Harleys pull off, and those are solvent. But yeah, check everything, make sure everything's good. Good to go. It's not even driving traffic is stressful, and it kind of is, but it's the 4 hours of sitting, doing nothing, barely moving, on a highway that should be like 45 minutes to get home. So that's the horrible part, right? That's what drives me crazy. I could drive days, it's fine. High traffic is fine as long as it's moving. All right, so this is what we got going on. So this is the image. This is the plotted file. Like I said, there's multiple ways to grab it. I plotted everything in one sheet, and basically I'm going to do this the darker sepia, this the lighter sepia, the dirty penny, and then we'll do this whole eagle in a mix. So because I'm on a light surface, and I've talked about this before, when I paint on a light surface, you know, in a monochromatic stage for the most part, I always work background to foreground. So I do what's in the background first, get that set up. So as you go up, everything in the foreground can be worked on top of, you know, next to what you've already worked on. That helps you achieve a nice layering without having to remask and go back and forth and back and forth. So on light surfaces, you know, on a black and white or sepia or tone on tone, I work background to foreground. If I was on a dark surface, I'd be working the opposite. I'd be working foreground to background. So I'd be starting with the eagle, like the eye and the beak, and then working down to the flag. That's the way I mask in order. You know, I've talked about it before, but a lot of new guys come in. Can you see my message? What was the letters on the paint bottle caps for? Oh, these? Oh, and I just realized why I got... I should have looked. This is transparent. When it's an O, it's an opaque. It's just so it's in my mixer and I can see what's what. Because that rolling mixer I have, as it rolls around, I can see what transparent is and I can see what opaque is. F is for fluorescent. So I put fluorescent white in here. And I wonder if it'll, which is probably why I got chunky. Hold on, let's see. Nah, kind of, it doesn't really do much. Okay. I was seeing if it was going to do a UV reaction. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, shoot. You see how the light doesn't show much here? Look, you can actually see a little glow. Wow. So under UV, you can see the UV specks. I wish I could. I can't shut my lights off above me because I wish you could see it. Let's see if we go 3/4 view, if you can see it. You see how it's it's glowing? Like, it's just, I can see specks. Like, it looks like I can reach through it looks like the paper's transparent. Which could be really a cool effect if whoever gets this. Huh. Well, that's a fun accident. To mess around. I was wondering why I was getting specks. And, like, you can see them gleam. Yeah, I wish I could, Huh. Well, that's cool. That sounds like a crazy white. Yeah, so, yeah. It's basically UV reactive fluorescent white. And I had it out. See if you, oh, see that? See how where there's no paint, it doesn't light up? There we go. Let me swap. So right here, see where it's... Come on. Huh. So see that little stain? There's nothing there, so it's just pure white. So it stays white, but you can see how everything lights up and glows behind it, around it. And that's cool. A little happy accident. Yeah. Cool. All right, everything's going good. Are my comments still working live? Oh, let me see. All right, let me double check. Yep, okay, good. Looks like it's still working. Every once in a while this chat doesn't really work because I have it going through my teleprompter. So if I don't see a comment for a while, I'm not sure if it died or not. You know what I should do to make sure my cell phone will be right. So every once in a while this chat doesn't. Okay, that's working. All right, here, let's see. YouTube. Okay, that's working. I have the volume down. Good. Cool. All right. So, like I said, we got our parchment down with our fluorescent paper. Where's a good place to get panels, practice painting on? So, what I do, and I've done a couple shorts on it, is if you have a sign supply company or a metal supply company anywhere in your area, this would be the best price to get it. I use polymetal panels. Okay, so these are already white or black. They're thin aluminum on both sides. They have a PVC core. They're extremely lightweight. They cost you about $100, depending where you're at, 90 to 105 for a 4x8 sheet, which is what I do. And I have the sign guy, the sign supplier, chop them into 18 by 24 panels for me. And you get about 11 of them. And then the cool thing about them is you can just score them with a straight edge and a utility knife and just snap them like glass to whatever size you want, which is what I did here. Okay. And it works out, so you get end up with 22 12x18s. So what's that work out to? Under $5 a panel. If you want smaller, you can even do that. And you just scuff and shoot them. I've done the, go get steel or aluminum from Home Depot, scuff it, prime it, base it, scuff it, blah, blah, blah. The metal itself is cheaper, but by the time you go through everything, it's a lot more money. If you don't have a sign supplier, you can go to Coast Airbrush. If you're in Canada, Maple. If you're East Coast, you can do Spray Gunner. They all sell metal panels, polymetal panels, pre-cut, ready to go, usually in those sizes. You'll obviously pay a little bit more because they've been pre-cut for you as opposed to a full sheet. But I think last time I looked up online, I think we had this discussion before somewhere. I think online when you buy them from those stores, they range like, and I don't know for a fact, I think they're between $8 and $12 a panel versus like $4.50, $5 a panel if you just get a 4x8 sheet. So that's my recommendation. That is what I recommend. All right, where are we here? Hope that answers your question. Like, what's happening? Astro, okay, cool. All right, like I said, this is the image. You got it all there. It's available online. I plotted it on my FBS blue mask, which is my preferred masking. Oops, which is not that one. I don't have the blue mask icon. Anyway, FBS blue mask is my preferred. I mainly use it. I don't really need to use the blue for flat surfaces. You could just use anything. The blue I mainly use for custom motorcycles and cars because it really bends and curves and it cuts like butter. And I cut super detail with it, which is why I like it for this stuff too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in position. And we're going to do the hinge technique, which I put the piece of tape on in the middle. I get my squeegee. Gotta have a squeegee. Ow, I'm gonna hit my knee on my bench. Oh. Squeegee. Okay, and with the hinge technique, what you do is lay one side, we're gonna lay the other. And I think the plan will be, if I don't finish this tonight, I probably will. I don't think it's gonna be that long. We'll make this a September 11th feed. And I roll that back, so I roll the vinyl back, and it leaves the backing free. I just do a little tear right there, and just pull it out, okay? Super easy. You get the hang of it, pretty simple. And then from this side, you kind of squeegee it this way, letting the air push out. Right there. Then, most important, ooh, pay attention to your work. I tore it. I'm going to pull from the other way. There we go. Okay, now what you do is we put a piece of tape to be safe across here. Is now you pull the other side after you pull that center hinge, because I've done it before. You didn't pull the center hinge, and you put this side down, then you have a strip that's not it's not on your panel because it's blocked off by tape. So you just pull that out, done. Same thing. Massage this in, squeegee it down. If you get a little air bubble here and there, it doesn't matter. It's all masking. It's coming off. It's not vinyl that's staying permanently. Now let's pull your transfer tape off. This is just basic paper conform transfer tape. It's pretty much what I like to use. And I got a little gap here, so I'm just going to fill that in because I don't want to have a line there. Oops. Let's just fill it in close. Cool. Just checking something out here. All right, good. Cool. All right. Drink here. Okay, so we have our dirty penny. This is going to be really, really simple. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Because I can't see. And this is always, like, I can see it, but you guys can't see it. So what I like to do, and I usually do this before I weed, but I'll just be careful. I just take a little charcoal. Just kind of rub it through. And now you can see all the cuts really well. That trick right there for your first timers will save you a lot of hassle in the future. If you don't have charcoal, dirt works good. What do you mean? I like how you post this on Facebook. Well, Michael, the download file is available that you can work from. It's pinned to the top if you like to follow along and use the image for practice. It's right there available for you. Okie dokie. Oh, you know what? I wasn't supposed to pull this because this is going to be one of the... Oh, it's... Yes, that's one of the stripes. That's one of the stripes. So that's going through here. This here. Oh, that gets picked. Yeah. I got to cover this. Because that's going to be the lighter one. So I'm covering that. You'll see. I didn't pick the lower stripes. What I'm working on here is I'm just painting the darker section. Then we'll get down to the lighter stripes, which is these here, here, and here, and here. And you know what? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep the kind of grit going. I'm going to spritz a little water. And now we're going to do the dark. This is my espresso shot mixed with a little bit of the Dirty Penny. And let's just continue on with our theme of kind of grunge and grit, which this was similar to how when they used to make Mike LaValley's grunge effects. It's a similar process, which they don't manufacture anymore for licensing reasons. But you can get away with like spray away glass cleaner as well, works really good, and you get the similar effect. So yeah, we're just making it. I want this to look kind of cool and dungy and dirty. But see, if you wipe, you're gonna wipe the paint off, and I don't want that. And then we can also take some details, and we'll use some Gerald Mendez effects. And then we'll kind of get those in. And we'll just spritz a little paint. Just a quick little spurt of water. And we'll pull some off here. That's isopropyl alcohol. That pulls it off really quick. And you get that nice grunge look. You just got to work it before it moves on a vertical surface, basically. So watch, go quick. I'm going to spritz. And I'm going to pull it off. It's a great way to get a gritty texture. Especially on the candies. This works really great on the candies. Like right here, I'll put a little, because it eradicates really well. So that'll represent the blue star field. And then what we're going to do is we'll go down in here, and we're going to use a lighter color. And that'll represent the red stripes. And then we'll pull the rest, and we'll have the eagle in silhouette, which will look really, really cool. And I haven't decided. So obviously I'm going to use this stripe and this stripe. But I haven't decided if I should use these running through or if it gets confusing on the image because the body comes down like here. So maybe I should hit these kind of dark and maybe I'll just mist these in so they're more subtle. I think that'll be the plan. What's up, Chris? Alright, so let's do this now. Now we gotta get our pick. So I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna pull these out. Because what I did, oh, because that's the body. Yeah, we'll go with it. It might get a little confusing, but I'll work it out. I'll work it out. Use my pick, get here. Okay, so I'm picking that and through to here. Like I said, I missed that gap, so I'm just gonna kind of fill that here. We're good up in here. stripe from there. We got here. Getting ready for the brush. Which brush fest in Vegas are we talking about? Oh, you talking about the kickoff party one? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that yet. Waiting to get details on where exactly it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be Monday night like always. It's just a matter of where. The Hogs and Heifers is moving. They're doing a new location. They're not open yet, so the where we usually do it, that's gone. So I haven't heard exactly where it's going yet, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll get it worked out. It might be like they did it a few years ago, where we did it like near Hogs and Heifers. They basically did a big parking lot, and had bars set up, and that was a huge year. It was a really big event. So they might be doing something like that this year, because Hogs is building a new bar, from what I gather. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Dirty Penny. I'm getting on the phone, one from both sides. Yep. We will figure it out. I think it really is going to come down to what the Freaks of Nature party does with the Mini Truck and Hall of Fame, because that's what it's kind of piggybacked on with. So that's going to be, I think, a bigger deciding factor of how that works out. So we'll see. Okay, so what I did is I took the Dirty Penny, mixed it with the espresso shot the other way, so it's more orangey espresso shot. Let's mix this in. Okay, so I'm only going to do a little bit here, and I'll do some more of it down here, but I don't want to go too nuts. I'm wondering if any of that UV shows up through here. Oh yeah, still there. Not as, oh yeah, some still peek through. It still has, oh yeah. Huh. You can see how that lights up, because normally it wouldn't light up much. And the cool thing is this can come up on this and it won't, it'll just kind of enhance it together. So it'll be kind of cool. Yeah, I'm going to do some water spritz. This is a new file that's available right here. And it also comes the flag by itself, the eagle by itself, then mixed together. The set's already up. The link is pinned to the top of the description, the top of the chat, so you can go there. Just became available an hour before the feed. Okay, so let's do this. Let that mix, same thing. See, that was the isopropyl, once it's on, does a really cool job. It's a nice effect. If you're on a cleared surface, you can get away with using lacquer thinner for urethane to kind of pull this effect off. But again, you got to just be careful with it. Don't go too much. Cool, now I can put this in. So I'm going to put that in like that. And just let it ghost through the body, I think, is kind of the way I want to handle it. What do you think? Think it looks cool? And this is the fun stuff where no matter how long you've been airbrushing, a week, years, you can do this. Just got to let stuff happen. Experiment, play around. It's nice to play around on panels like this. You don't want to play around with this on a car or motorcycle to start. Just don't. Just don't. Not a great idea. But you kind of you figure out what works for you. This is definitely one of those. I think it should go matte clear if anyone does bid or buy this. I think this is best served matte, in my personal opinion. So now we can pull the rest of it off. Let's get some blades here. Plastic razor blade. Get this off. I'm not going to pull. The body goes through here. Oh, you know what I got to do before I pull too much off? Like, I've made this so messy, I really can't see the eagle, where all the detail is. So I'm just going to carefully kind of take all this off. You know, it was one of the inspirations for this is, I don't know if anyone is a fan or follows the show Peacemaker on HBO, which is John Cena's character. He has a pet eagle called Eagly he uses, and last week's episode was awesome with it, and that was also an inspiration for this. Cool, now I can kind of see everything. What does it say? What would happen if you just misted a hint of it, red or blue? No, you could. I could mist a little blue on here, and I could mist a little red, and kind of get that tone if I chose to. It would work. I think the blue would work. I don't have it mixed up, so I'm not going to bother. But if you did a little blue candy, and then a little bit of red candy on this, it would be a cool look. I thought about it. I strongly considered it. But I was too close to the feed to really kind of get that set up. Too close to showtime. So now, basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling off what the stripes would be. And that way you just have the whole silhouette of the eagle design itself. But you'll be able to see the flag pattern this kind of created. Once I get it unmasked here, it'll all make beautiful sense, theoretically. Yeah, so that's the body. So I got to cover right here. Yeah, I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to go in here. It's fine. Now I got to get all this stuff off. That's why I like these plastic scrape rights, so I can just dig in and slide right across and just pull everything out. And the cool thing is, if I do scratch and scuff this, it's not a big deal. We're just going to add to the grunge. Cool. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned SEMA. Today was a day, well, last week started talking to various companies I'll be demoing with. Today I talked with people. So it is in the air. It is going to be, I think it's going to be an off year this year, actually, though. There's a lot of brands that are not going to go. There's a few. Or they're going to downsize what they did. The cost of SEMA is so high, and everyone's revenue is super off this season, so definitely people are going to be taking a somewhat break. It'll still be awesome, always is, but cool. Awesome. Alright, yeah, so now you can see that kind of pattern we got going on. I know it looks really like kind of goofy right here. But so this is what we got. So we've done this and we've pulled everything off. We've misted this in. And this pattern by itself, like if you go to the download page, like I said, it has this fly for the whole thing without the eagle on top. That's a cool project by itself. Maybe I'll do that as a quick feed at some point. Without the eagle. That could be kind of cool. Alright, so what I'm going to do, because if I take this, I knew this was going to get confusing visual. His body comes up right through here and covers that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically, I'm not going to bother really here because it's just going to kind of merge. If you look at the file itself, the way I pulled it, there is a line right here I could have left in. So we're just going to go like this. And that way it gets to there. If you wanted to do like the body coming down, really simple. Just take some tape like this and just kind of, and we can have that be the whole kind of body. Oh yeah, no, I always go no matter what, and I'm definitely gonna go if when they do the event. But I know this year is just going to be it's going to be a little off. Okay, so now you got the silhouette. I'm going to stick with this Dirty Penny kind of mix orange. There's no one here. Oh, actually, what I should do, I want to get a little bit of texture. I want to use a texture effects kind of everywhere. Just a little texture and grit. Actually flick a little paint. Just flicking some paint. But yeah, I got paintings I gotta finish for SEMA. I got paintings I have to start for SEMA that have to go out really soon. I'm just behind. Then I got to finish an article and stuff for the Airbrush days, which is going to be next year. But May is going to come up really fast for me. So that's what we're going to be doing. So if you're interested in International Airbrush Days and you're overseas in UK, Germany area, we're going to be in Germany next year doing a really killer program. Alright, so the first thing is delineation. So basically shadow, drop shadow. We're going to go lighter on the tops. And we're going to go darker down here and kind of create a cast shadow. See how I just kind of followed the beak, light source coming down. That's going to give me delineation. Here. And I'm not going to cut all the way down, I'm just going to do a little bit. Mr. Leahy. So notice what I did here? By putting the shape of that claw down here, it gives the claw more lift. A little drop shadow. But I'm keeping that downward direction and kind of the distances to match. Just like here, I'm going to come down, it's going to come right off the page. Can only hang for a second. Hi, Steve. Thanks for popping in. Crazy busy man, you. It's good to have you even for a couple minutes. I'm going to go back to the espresso shot by itself. And I'm just going to really punch out this drop shadow. Kelly Ross! What's happening, guys? Thank you for popping in. Todd, what's happening? I don't think I said hi to you when you popped in earlier. Kelly, you gotta give me a buzz tomorrow, so let me know how that project's coming along, the one we talked about. Okay, so first hour is down. We got all this in. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now we gotta start figuring things out. Go back to more of the dirty penny. This paint's worked great. This is that same. I mixed this. This is the paint I mixed up when I did the servo skull. You know, the one on, and when I did the lion on the copper panels. That's how old this mixed up candy is. And because I didn't reduce it and like basically put activation to it, that I can use it pretty well still. Yeah, plus it'd be cool to catch up, Kelly. It's been a bit. Oops, I should have pulled too little. That's the only thing about these tattered designs. There's all these little pieces you miss. Trying to make sure I get them all. Usually I run a blade across like this. Yep, so I found another one there. Make sure you get them out, especially before clear coat, because then you go to buff it and you pick out a blue piece of mask. It's inevitable. I want to pull this off just so I can, yeah, oh, wait a second. Okay, so we're working background to foreground. So let's look at this. Now the flag is done. What's the next thing? The furthest part of the background. What's the furthest thing back? That's what we got to focus on. And that's where we should be working. And then we work from background to foreground. Here, Todd, what's happening? So what is the furthest one back? Talon, yes, this one. Okay. So, if we look at this one, the furthest one back, it's that back talon there. Here, we'll get these done, then we'll work up into the whole talon. Okay. So, they're easy enough. I can pull them all off. And because I'm working background and foreground, these are nice and visible. Now the talons would mostly be black. They'd be dark. Where are they? Here we go. In my pocket of graphics. Pocket graphics. So let's find. I actually picked it out. I want this talon to kind of twist right here around. So I'm just going to put a little bit like that in here. Then we're going to come in here. Now, if you wanted this talon like fully black, you'd have to back mask this, or what you could do is you could cut the paper and spray it really harsh. But I can do that after. I want to see how it looks. By just kind of doing this and letting. Yeah, I think it needs to be like fully black to the edge. So those tips are super dark. I think it would look better. So what we do, and that's why we always cut the paper to the exact size. Do you have any big flame shields? Yes, I do. Not under my brand. So you could use the all-time favorite is the Bird and the Big Wave, and basically the Essential 7 are some of the best. The other best ones, if you can find them, and they're still out there, but they are not making them right now, is Mike LaValle's True Fire templates are the bigger shields, but they are not being manufactured. So get them while you still can. But there are a lot of other flame curve and fire curves and big shields. But my favorite is still the Bird and the Big Wave. Are still my go-tos. I still use them to this day because they just always work. Cool. All right, for now I can do this. I can come up here. And those all line up like that. And I can really get a hard edge. And if I need to go blacker, I can later. Let's see. A little off registration. We'll fix that. And I think what we'll do... Yeah, well, you don't need... I mean, you can get Mike's Fire ones, like I said. You just need curves. You don't need a specific flame one. There we go. And then we can scratch a little highlight in these. But most of my flames for years were, and still to this day, is just done with the wave. I mean the bird. If you ever look at Rhino's flames, Rhino's fire, and his smoke, it's all done with the the bird and the pharaoh. Just gonna highlight that leading edge. And then, so if you see these have it's got a little fold back here, fold back here. There's little fold backs. You kind of identify what's behind each one. And I know it's hard to see on camera. That's why I always print the reference out so you have it. And that way, that can just kind of, so by pulling this back, you can just see a little, just hit that there. Fold this guy back, just pull here. And these are just for registration. You're not really supposed to be painting a lot when you do this. It's just so you have your lines. That's all it's for. That little fold. Yeah, you just got to stay loose and don't get a specific. You don't need a specific stencil of smoke and a specific stencil of things. You want to really do it the easiest way to start. The first time I did it, I went online. I found really good pictures of smoke on paper, and I printed those out and cut those apart until I started understanding the shapes. That's the best way I can tell you to do it. Like, I went online, I typed in, let's see if I can find it. There's a lot of great reference pictures online of smoke. Type in smoke, type in, go to images. So you go to images like this, and you print that out. Just what you do, print this out but invert it. So what's black is white, what's white is black, so you don't waste all your printer ink. And cut these shapes. Study that curve. Like, cut this out of paper and just spray it. Cut this out of paper, spray it. Cut that, spray it. You know, work on different shapes. Start understanding that. Or, you know, project or trace that image onto a panel and just try to follow along a mix of freehand and using a loose template. Like if I had this on, I keep hitting the wrong one. Where was one I just had? I liked that one. All right, so let's say this one. Okay, now, so if I had that on paper and I sketched it, I would be airbrushing loose. And then I would take a stencil like this and I would find out, oh, that fits nice right there. Spray that side of it. Okay, I know this fits. You start to look at it. Oh, that's good right there. Or right here. Or right here. You start identifying shapes. Okay, so you got to work with not what's in your head and what you think it looks like. You got to study, especially until you get comfortable. Once you get comfortable, you can just make it up on your own. But you got to take images and mess with it. And I would literally take this, open it up in your computer, invert the image so it's black becomes white, what's white becomes black, and then print that. And you'll get a nice piece of paper that you'll be able to cut and use. That is my best recommendation for smoke. All right. Talon. So now that this is like this, so now I know what that registration is. I can start to freehand I'll start with a core shadow. And this is just an eclipse. So I'm just going to shadow kind of. If you look at Eagle Towns, they kind of have like plates up here that kind of overlap, almost very scaly. Basically just come down here, core shadow, and you start just by see that little bit of shadow here and here. Now it starts to give that a radius. And it's enough. I don't have to like go nuts right now. I can just get it roughed in, and I can always go back and add more shading and detail. Hey, thanks for the advice the other day on Facebook. Love these videos. Anytime, man. Anytime. I try to answer what I can online for people. Sometimes I miss. If I miss it, it's not intentional. Sometimes I get busy. If I don't reply on a message, sometimes it's just busy. Or I see it, and I'll get back to it, and I just don't get back to it because I get 50 other messages. So if I don't answer you right away, never personal. But see, that talon's enough done where I'm happy enough with it. And those claws worked out pretty good. I didn't like them at first, but they're in person, you can really see them enough to where they pop off the canvas pretty well. And if you want to do some highlighting, these are great projects for eradication. For some highlights with an eraser. Mike Manning, first chat of the night, thank you, sir. Bam, bam, bam. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Mike could have downloaded the set for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But the cool thing is this process can be done anytime. I can go in and just there is no opening bid. You would be the opening bid, sir. And thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. 175 for Big G. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Cool. Alright, so I think we're good here. Alright, so now I'm going to take this off and show you where I'm at. Because I'm going to be doing the next part, the lowest, is right here. Is his body, basically. So we're going to work under here. Work under here. This is where the white of the eagle usually starts, so it's underneath the kind of feathers there. We're going to work here. We're going to work in here. Work around the wing, and then we'll get into the head last. We're going to work our way forward. We're going to work our way here and there. All right. So basically now, TH2 with clear coat, you could probably, yeah, you could probably do it. You probably got a little extra reducer. The TH2 hogs out some clear, man. It hogs out some paint. Depending on how the viscosity of clears, you may have to over thin it just a little bit. If you don't have a big, you should be fine for a tumbler. Just like I said, you may have to, like you may have to add an extra 5 or 10% reducer to it. So I would just kind of be cautious on that. All right, actually, so I can take this whole thing out. See, I don't like that. I can actually take this out. Because I can take all this area that's behind out. And these areas, I'm not going like full crazy feathers in here. I'm not trying to... Yeah, I mean, I remember I did my brother's RC car. And, oh, actually, I have a video, if you look it up. I painted a model of a Mustang. Like a I did like a burnt orange Mustang to look like the owner's real Mustang. And I painted that all, I believe I did all with the TH2. I did the base color, I did the clear, I primed it, all with the TH2. So, yeah, you should be fine. Alright, so all I'm going to do here is, this is the main body. I'm going to keep this... I'm really just shadowing, drop shadowing everything. I'm not putting all the feathers in. This is a really graphic thing. You know, I could use kind of a swirl template like this, which no, I still have not fully manufactured these because I'm a slacker. But I'm really just you see how now this kind of stripe's kind of going away. That's kind of what I wanted. I need to find a woman like that. The airbrush would be cheaper. If you don't have a template like this, the other thing you can do is you take a template like this, you move and you'll get those nice patterns as well. There we go. That's also true. That is also true. Where'd my plastic razor blade go? Okay, so that's good. We're going to get really nice under here. Now I can pull this wing off. Make sure we shadow really nice under these feathers. Like I said, I made these wings and stuff super... Oh, actually... Nah, they're fine. I made this area really simple because, like I said, originally this was for having all the detail in here and then having everything around them be smoke and fire. That was the original gist of this piece. So it'll work really well for that. That's why there's not a lot of detail in the back section, because it was never really intended to. And I did that there like I didn't want to. What kind of painter you have to paint that? Oh, what kind of printer do I have? I just have a Epson like printer scanner combo. I think it's a 7720. It does up to 12 by 18. It says 11 by 17, but you can actually trick it to 12 by 18 paper if you want it. And it wasn't expensive. It was like a $200 printer. So here we're just gonna basically simulate some feathers. Again, nothing crazy. Because I'm not... I want your eye to focus here. So this is really just... You can actually use templates and kind of come like this. And if you don't have a printer that big, just design your stuff. Go up to any Staples, all the Staples. I don't think, are Kinko's around anymore? I don't think Kinko's around anymore. But like FedEx stores and Staples, their basic printers do 11 by 17. So you can just bring a thumb drive in and print it a few times if you don't have the access to a large printer like I do. And see again, this is enough, and I can even kind of be risky right now and just gotta make sound effects. Spray the alcohol on there and just have shit happen. Now the painting stays looking really kind of aged. See how this is really dry, so it doesn't really react anymore the same. And that's just isopropyl alcohol, and that's giving me that nice look. But again, I'm not trying to make realistic feathers. I'm just kind of simulating the movement and the style, and just kind of having fun with it, letting this motion kind of set in. Now again, we're going to drop shadow this. I'm going to bring this way out. And I'm going to hook this one really far down. And like the other thing, like this talon's in a weird spot because you're not even seeing the leg. It's just meant to be superimposed. That's why there's supposed to be smoke and everything back here, because you would never in reality get this proportion. Yeah, a lot of times the libraries can do, most libraries can do 11 by 17 as well. Most of those big printers usually have it. Or was it A4 is the bigger one, or is it A? I don't know the European numbers. A6, A9, A10, whatever the heck it is. I don't know. But now you can see how this is coming together. It's a really cool looking piece. The body kind of just flows in. So this is a fun project. It's a fun download to mess with. All right, so now it's time to start studying what we got here. Oops, what we have here is upside down. Okay, so I did this, did here. So I can actually do, I'm going to go get underneath here. I'm going to pull this here and just hit these. Then I'm going to go inside the mouth and there. And then I'll start working up into here. Yeah, we'll definitely finish this tonight. That is the plan anyway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pull that. I'm just going to keep this simple. Don't paint a lot here. I'm not doing a lot. This was a white panel to start, yes. So see how I'm doing that? I'm just going to leave that for now. And if you go back to the beginning later, I took the white panel and made it into parchment, and I accidentally used fluorescent white. And so under UV light, this actually is going to have a weird kind of glow effect. It actually looks like you don't see the pattern, but man, I wish I could. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this here. See what it does? See how it almost looks like it's glow. See that glow right there? You can see it coming. It's a really, it ended up being a happy accident. Really cool effect. So whoever gets this, you should get a, try to get a UV light on it once in a while, because it has a really kind of bitchin' effect to it. Like it looks like you can reach through it. Almost looks like backlit ivory or something. That's wild. Oops. There we go. Actually, I'll stay zoomed in there. So now I can pull this next one up here. It doesn't go all the way back, it just folds there, so just keep it there. Same thing. Nice little dagger strokes. Have happy little dagger strokes. And just kind of tone it in. Just play around a little bit, doesn't need a lot. Okay, it's there. This is going to make sense as I pull it all off. There's a little bit of feather right here. You're going to pull. And just tap it. A little tippy tap. Okay, so now I'm going to go... Oh, you know what? Duh. Let me see if I can do this. Reference image. Ah, it's right where I don't want it. Ha. Oh well. That's not going to work. So yeah, so now I'm going to go into the mouth. And then we'll work around. I'll go into here. Yep. And then we'll do the eye, and then we'll do the claw last. Yeah, that's the ticket. And like I said at the beginning, if you just joined in, this whole file set is available on McKayFineArt.com for download. Or just, I don't know if it's still up there. I think it would be. I can't see the chat like that. The link I pinned to the top for anyone who is interested in this. Okay, so here we go. We don't need that. Okay, so now we're going to work on the inner beak and mouth. And I'm not going to paint too much around this lower side of the tongue. And you'll see kind of why. I can go a little dark. There we go. Yeah, I never got any mics, airbrushes. I was going to. But I missed when they were doing it. I was very honored. A good friend who got it all was able to get one of Kiwi's Terry's brushes, so I have that. But that's awesome. Kiwi was a close friend. So now I can pull the whole lower beak section. And this is really simple, just a little core shadow there. And I want this feather to just kind of die right into it, okay? A little touch here, a little touch here. Don't go too nuts because I want to freehand a lot of this. And now I can get the tongue. You can see how that's starting to really come out at you. So now the tongue can come out. And if you take that out too early, like I just did, I can just come in with a template like this and add the shadow I forgot. Oh, thanks, Dave. Yeah, I like how that works in the system. That for what Dave's talking about, when I do these downloads, if I get a message from someone that, oh, I have an issue with this, or I notice this poll's a little funny, I go in and I adjust the file. And when I adjust the file, anyone who's already bought the file will get a notification email that the file's been adjusted and to download the new version for free. I don't freaking charge for new versions. And sometimes I decide to just add something new to a file. Like my Reaper set. If you bought one of my Reaper sets originally, the Crim Reaper set, I added a whole bunch of new Reapers for free. So if you already had it, you'll get the upgrade. Like if I add to this Eagle, say I decide to make a different variant and maybe do something different on the background, anyone who's already downloaded, you'll get the modern version of it. So I try to keep things cool like that, and I appreciate you noticing it. Alright, so I got the nostril I gotta find and pull out, which I'm having trouble seeing. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Ah, there you are. Gotta pull the nostril right here. Boop. And I can actually pull in the front. Oh, the Reaper set? Yeah, the Reaper set's got a lot. And that's one of the more expensive sets, so I always make sure that, like, if I update that, people get an update. Like, I have another couple Reapers planned, which is probably going to be a new set. But what I'll probably do is anyone who has the primary set will get a discount if I do that. I'm trying to think of some new stuff for Halloween time. Alright, so with the beak, just kind of shade off the edge like this. Soft stroke. Core. Remember the core shadow. Don't go all the way to the edge, because see if I just freehanded above it and you get that nice secondary light bounce. And I come up here and I just darken the beak up a little bit. And this is where a little erasing can go a long way and be kind of cool. Like that nice little highlight. Or you can use an eraser stick like this. You don't have the electric. And just kind of pick out some details. Like here. Because this, if you go hard enough, you're going to go to the original white of the board. Which would be brighter than the parchment we did. If you go deep enough. Which I'm going to do a lot of that for the feathers here, like this, here, at the end. Which is really just going to make the thing pop out. Yeah, you see how that made it pop? Just right here, watch. I'll make this pop. Cool, huh? It's a huge difference. Then cut back in. And take the next part out. And we're getting close to done. Ooh, I got 20 minutes. Yeah, this is not going fast tonight. This is getting done tonight. So right now we have a bid of 175 on this. So if anyone's interested, the same thing here, core, shadow, the beak. I don't put a lot in here. But just enough to kind of tint it. And like I said, you can come along and we can just hit the highlight under here, under here. Come back into that beak, little highlight on the mouth. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna snap out. All right, so we're gonna do the eye. Okay, so let's look at the eye objectively. What we got to do first? Let's plan this out. What are we at here? We're at 9:42 because I'm gonna try to chapter this out afterwards. When you're doing the eagle eye, let's break this down. Remember, foreground to background, kind of. We're going from the darkest to the lightest. Okay, so the pupil is the darkest. So I'm going to pull the pupil first, and then kind of the socket of the eye right here, this line. Okay, I'm going to pull those two first. I'm going to make those almost black. Not this one as much. This is going to be the most. And that's going to allow me to shade the eye kind of glossy halftone. Okay, then I'm going to pull out this section here and just shade it like I did all this. Okay, that's the key. So watch it happen. It'll happen quick. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and basically do that. So pupil and this. That's first. Okay? This pupil can go almost black, but you can leave a little bit of stuff going on there if you want. You can even put a little, you probably never really see it unless you're up close to this, but just a little bit here. Now here. So I can go darker close to the top. And now I'm going to pull the eye itself, which looks super crazy. This is where pocket graphics comes in nice and handy. Just kind of go like this. And basically what I'm doing, I'm just kind of putting that like small radius around it, so it's like it's seeing the horizon a little bit. And now I'm just going to do the top. Then I come in here with the eraser stick or electric eraser. I'm going to hit that glint. See how much that did? And I can actually go little reflections under the eye. It's like it gives it a wet look. You can even put like a little. This is where if you take lessons like Drew Blair's realism, you can kind of add those tricks to making the eye look super believable and real. What was Rob saying? Should I do anything extra with clear coat in the current welding lid I'm working on? Because I use fluorescent clear for a glowing effect around the subject matter, fluorescent red. No, the clear, you just want to clear it so it's secure. The only issue is under black light, you're not going to get the same effect anymore. Once you clear it, if you use clear, that's automotive clear that has UV inhibitors in it, which all of them do. Even with like Createx UVLS, once you put UVLS on it, it does lessen the effect of the fluorescent dramatically. It'll protect the fluorescent color from fading, but it will lose some of the black light effect, just FYI. Okay, so I pulled the eye out. I'm just going to mist this. And I'm kind of going to stay up here. And you'll see why. Because now the rest of the mask is coming out. And then what that's going to do, it's going to basically give me the registration. Yeah, that's always kind of the issue with fluorescents, is to protect them from fading, you got to put a UV clear on it. But the UV clear will reduce the effect of black light. Okay. But see how now this is, that's why I didn't go too nuts back here. This is the dramatic. So I want to keep this the brightest. And so now this is where soft dagger strokes are the key. I'm just doing a little kind of feathering, literally. You're welcome, sir. I'm going to do a little feather work here. Just keep shading, just keep shading, just keep shading. And I'm not doing much here. I'm going to do a little, and then I'll come in with some erasing and bring that in. Yes, this is available for download now. The link is pinned to the top. It's also in the description. And if you are a member of the YouTube channel, Down Dirty Tricksters, you get 25% off. So if you are one of these, or if you haven't joined, you can hit that join now. You get 25% off the download. Which I just noticed your gold skull, so you are a member, so don't forget to use the download. And this download's good too, because like I said, it has the eagle by itself, it has the eagle set up like this with that image, and it has the flag itself across the whole background without the eagle, so you can use it for other things. So you don't have to like go crazy on the feathers. Just nice, see, a nice soft dagger strokes is key. Master the dagger stroke. And these, I'm just keeping them soft and moving fast with a distance. And that's how I'm getting these nice soft daggers. They're not lines. It takes practice. I've been doing this for 35 years. It's second nature to me. Don't get frustrated if you can't do it right away. I'm going to drop shadow this guy. And that way that hook's really nice. The download and the instructions video happening now. Yes. Yep. You know, if I was a better planner, and I wish I was, sometimes I do it, not all the time. Sometimes I get the vector ready the week before, so you can download it and kind of prep and try to follow along live. And I used to really focus on trying to do that. And not many people ever follow along live, because it's really hard to follow live. I remember as a kid, I used to watch this guy in New England called Captain Bob, which would draw animals and sea life and everything like that. And I remember trying to follow along with him live, and it was cumbersome. And then when my father got a VHS tape, we used to record it and watch it afterwards. So I could watch it the first time, get a feel for it, and then watch it and pause it when I wanted to like actually do the project, which I think works out better. So that's how I try to kind of set this up. Cool. So that's done. And now I'm going to take just the eraser stick. You can also use a wooden dowel. And we're just going to do some feathers here. Really hit here bright again, get that glint. But yeah, I pulled this vector up this morning. Actually, after this afternoon. And I did this, like, I think at 5 o'clock I did this. So the cool thing is I can keep working this. Go a little bright around the eye, like it's got a little skin. Oh, that worked. That was really good. Right here where it's kind of wet. Like a little eye moisture. That looks really cool. You just keep working it for hours if you want. This is where, what's the customer's budget? Low budget, get it done, figure it out, get it quick, you're done. Good budget, more feathers. Thinner budget, more feathers and detail, more realism. You can keep kind of catering to that. But the cool thing is, you got a customer that has a low budget, you can still give them something cool, and then you can keep ratcheting it up as they have the budget. But always still delivering a quality product. It's not, oh, I don't have a budget, so I'm just gonna half-ass it. Yes, you can do something cool within that range, do something cool within that range. Just always, the quality has to always be there. That's always been my thing. I've always tried to make sure, even on the inexpensive jobs, the quality of the simple jobs is still the same as the quality of an expensive job. Just the expensive jobs have more detail and more time and nuance, but I never sacrifice the quality of the job. Let's see, that worked out pretty good. Okay, now we gotta do them claws. And I think I'm gonna have to do what I did before on this. I'm gonna pull these out. And I could just cut another mask and put them in, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut the paper to match up. Let's see. So now, like I said, if you want, you could plot another one, and if you're not comfortable doing the paper, just plot this section and just, you know, back mask this, or, you know, transfer tape, clear transfer tape, you could do it. Or just do the cut. And if you want, make it a little, you can, if you're going to hand cut, you can make it just a little bit bigger, and you won't get the white registration, like that kind of off registration. And this is why all my downloads, I print 100% to the same size. And I know how to do hand cut work as well as plotter. Because knowing both, in my opinion, is paramount to success. Because sometimes you won't have the plotter, so you just got to do it by hand. And you do it by hand the same way I do it with a plotter. The technique doesn't change, just the tool changes. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of the way I've always approached it. Because when I first started, everything was by hand, so you got to know how to do it by hand. And if you know how to do it by hand, the plotter makes your life easier. The computer makes your life easier when that tool is necessary. What I found over the years is people who only, and guys, it's mainly, you know, newer guys starting. It's easy to get the computer and the Cricut and do things like that, and that works. But when it comes down to when you can't do it with that tool, you kind of get stuck. So that's why I tell people, learn by hand and by using the technology. And then you'll never have a problem. I want to make these really dark. And then we'll bring the highlighting in like I did before. Actually, that's so dark back there, I really can't do that with that one. So if you're against the dark areas like this, you got to have a darker leading edge. I mean, a brighter leading edge. But up here, see, I can really kind of get that in. And then what I'll do is I'll score a highlight in there. What I could even do at the very end, I can bring some black in here and really make that dark. But if you do that, and then I take this and I just score a highlight. Maybe use, where'd that go? You know, using the stick eraser, I can just come in and just kind of get that hook back in. And just kind of mess with it and scratch. And that's the one thing. I very rarely ever do a live feed of something I've painted before. Usually it's me working it out with you. And I found that's a better, in some ways. For some projects it's better because you can see how it comes together. Some lessons, especially beginner ones, I usually try to have those ones I painted before. So when I teach it to beginners, I have all the guessworks out of it. When I do an intermediate class to professional painter workshop, then I usually just work it on the fly with the students. And what I found is it's a better way for people to learn the actual process. Thank you. Cool. Okay, now the final hole is, you know, I have these little guys that kind of cut over. You don't even need to, like, guys who download the file, message me if you want me to change this. It's a catch-22 if I do this, because if you're heavy-handed with the airbrush, you get things you don't want. So what I could do, I'm trying to find it, is I could vector this so this comes out like this, and this comes out bigger. But the problem is, if you start pulling this too much, you start getting really harsh lines everywhere. So I usually do these double backs, just these little fold backs, just for you to fold, spray, a minimal amount so you can then freehand it in. But if you'd like to see more connected stuff, like some people want it like this. So that one's connected here, that one's connected here. It starts, for me, it starts getting confusing. Like I try to keep it very simple. Just so basically you do this. So this little fold. Is that where the fold is? 'Cause I haven't done it. Oh no, it's way down here. It's hard to see. See, that little fold goes like that, and you just kiss it. You just kiss a little bit like that. This one here, you literally just fold it back like that, and just stay out here with it. You're barely putting any paint, but when you unmask it, you can see it. There's one right here. See, it just pulls back. Super little. And that's, I think it, oh, there's one more right here. Maybe I could make them a little bigger. But watch. So those little pulls, what they did is they kept everything clean. So you can pull this all now. And it just gives you a silhouette with a few delineations. Oops, I forgot the shadow under there. I'm going to clean out my vent. Don't forget, I talk about it every few feeds. Always check your vent hole up here. Because when that gets clogged, it doesn't spray as efficient. Alright, so now I'm just going to come in. And I'm going to freehand my core shadows. Like I said, I don't even have a picture of what this claw area looks like. So anatomically, it's probably not correct. And if it isn't, I don't care. It just has to look kind of cool. This is a great, like, you could spend like 2 hours, 3 or 4 hours on this. You could do a bike tank with it, one on each side, and get 2 of them done in a day. Nice payday, cool job, not too real, not too much going on, good budget paint job that people look at and go, holy crap, that's cool. And if you want to spend 2 more days on it, add all the feathers, add all the details. I love designs like this. It's kind of like tattoo flash art. It's a good starting point for people, especially people without huge ideas or budgets. Oh, I just want an eagle. I want something cool. A skull. Okay, we can do that and take this and just... I can take this design. I can stretch it, tweak it, do a different background. There's so much you can do with it. I'm going to hit just a little down here with the isopropyl, make that a little gross. Yeah, that does. It just makes it kind of cool again. Just trying to keep it off there. Yeah, guys, don't forget that like, subscribe, share. Oh, and I want to mention, I think as of tonight, I'm only 90-something people away from hitting 13,000, which is a nice little benchmark. And statistically, like 50% of viewers don't subscribe, and subscription costs you nothing. Memberships cost, subscriptions don't. So for those not too YouTube literate, if you subscribe to someone on YouTube, you don't have to pay. If you're a member, that's a paid thing. A member of a channel. Like my members and those guys, you get discounts and things like that. So, please like, subscribe, do all that shit. And we did this, and I talked mostly for the first 20 minutes. So there is a bit of 175. As of right now. I'm trying to find a good gold. Here's my good gold. Nope. So it's got the 175 bid. There's always a delay. So I see your message before. I think I answered it before you posted that. Where is my gold? gold Posca. 200. Okay. So we have Dave at 200. Thank you, Dave. You are the current high bidder, sir. That looks cool because it just shows up. Look at that. Boom. Looks cool. Now I'll tint over that again. Oh. Gary is at 225. Gary likes this one. 225, Gary. You know, I think we need a little texture here. Just trying to round this out before I untape it. I don't think it needs a pinstripe. A gold pinstripe could be cool, but man, it's a lot of work. I wonder if I could just do... If I can stay on the tape. There'll be a gold slightly rough on one side stripe, which I think will look really cool with the overall. Gary always bids on the coal pieces, man. This was right up his alley, too. Now I gotta do the gold. Aha. Well, that's a brush tip. And I'm gonna have to tape it off and do gold. Hey, it's only money, it's right. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out some gold paint or something to put in there. Ooh, there we go. When you miss the stream. I'm sorry if this is not a good camera shot. You got to get the right angle to ride the tape. That way I get a clean edge on one side. I love all you guys, but I'm not going to stop one guy from bidding. Gotta make a living, guys. Gotta make a living. Alright, let's see. if we like that little touch. Yeah, I can kind of see the gold. It's very small. I think I might... What's another 25 bucks? For the amount of joy you would get. Yeah, see, I'm really digging that lately where, like, one side's kind of crisp and the other side's not. I'm probably saying when I clean up that edge here. When that dries, I'll clean that up. All right. There you go, Dave. Dave's in for $250. Just remember, shipping is $20 in the U.S. now. If it's outside the U.S., we have to figure that out. There's some extra things that have to get paid now. All right, Dave wins. See? Dave, you beat Gary. You won a bid. I really appreciate you guys going back and forth that. Thank you so much. It's a really cool project, a really cool piece. Clear, it's going to look awesome. Framed, it'll look even better. And it's a good, yeah, it's fun. If I wasn't going to Rhode Island next week, oh, you going to Rhode Island? You're close, man. Whereabouts in Rhode Island? That's where my parents are from. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. Great feed. Thank you, guys. Yeah, like I said, this download's available. Hope some of you guys get it. It's a fun project. If you wanted to do it the opposite, you could have done this in blues and reds first, and then did this in sepia. You could do blues and reds. Then you could do browns, leave this white, and then you could do these beaks and this in yellows and have a more realistic look. It would just take more time. So from a monochromatic that I did in 2 hours, say a 2-hour monochromatic like this I did, if I was to do full color, it'd probably take 4 to 6, depending how things go from there. Then we, again, then you could go to 8 hours if you want to make it full photorealistic, stuff like that. Yep, very North Kingston. Yep, that's actually where my father is laid to rest, is down in that area. You got to make sure you go get some clam cakes. Got to get clam cakes, man. And red hot dogs. Bright red hot dogs. That's what they have in Rhode Island. I spent all my time in Rhode Island as a kid, every weekend. Everyone who downloaded this already, I know quite a few of you guys already did. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this feed, the process. And like I said, the way my feeds go and the way my outlook is these should be learning tools for how to approach a project. So if you decide to do a snake, you could run the same image, same process, and work from back to front like I did. If you're doing, an octopus, if you're doing whatever, it doesn't matter. Those don't matter as much. It's the process. So learn the process and how that works, and you'll end up with some cool projects like this. So hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you digged it. Download it. Have some fun with it. Maybe I'll do another quickie video on just the flag with some grit and texture so it's less confusing. But I really like the way this started out. And like I said, that UV still kind of, man, it looks really cool. I wish I had my big UV. It looks translucent. Oh my, yeah, you got a green skull. Yep. But yeah, it looks really cool. The UV, you get these bright things that pop up. So, man, I wish I had planned that. I should do a paint like that. It'll be like National Treasure, where you can hide like hidden images. I gotta pull that off. That would be freaking cool. We're gonna work that in the future. I'm gonna try to do some hidden UV stuff. Yeah, so this is cool. All right, guys. Dave, reach out to me on either Facebook, socials, or stuff like that, and we'll get that taken care of. Make sure I get your current address and stuff. And yeah, thank you all for checking out the feed, supporting the channel, all that fun stuff. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll see you next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. And we're going to come up with another idea for next week. So, yeah, we'll go from there. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.